Welcome back everyone. This week I wanted to show you my corset collection and tell you a little bit about each item. I have at the moment 5 corsets, of which 3 are off the rack and 2 are custom made. Now I'm by no means a specialist in corsets, and most knowledge I have about them I've gotten from another YouTuber, and if you want to know more about corsets and the effects of corsets on your body or anything really pertaining to actual corsets, then I would definitely recommend you check out Lucy's Corsetry on YouTube. Also, just to clarify, when I say corset I mean a garment that actually has boning with steel in it. That's meant to give you a nice shape, or at the very least a different silhouette to the one you have. I don't mean those rubberized things that are quite popular at the moment that some people actually refer to as corsets, just to get that out of the way. Of course you can ask me questions if you think I can answer them, but yeah, if you want more information please do go over and check out Lucy's channel, because it's helped me a lot when I started corsetry. Now, first of all, the first corset I bought is this one here. As you may be able to see, it's an underbust, so it ends, as it says, under your bust. It's black, but when I purchased this corset I didn't realize that this corset is actually not the right shape for me. This corset is actually straighter along the side seams than I am, so this does not fit me immensely well. I'll show you, I'll put it on for you. As you can see, this corset does not do much to give me curves. It's actually, like I said, it's straightened on my actual silhouette, and I would have plenty of squishiness left here were it not that this actually just straightens me out and gives me a more straight shape than I actually am. So this is what you would probably call a modern slim silhouette. But what I want a corset to do is sort of nip in at the waist and give me that more dramatic figure than I already have. Now, this corset was the first steel bone corset I bought. I didn't know much about it at the time. It was fairly cheap, and yeah, that's why I purchased it. But I would eventually probably want to resell this and get rid of it because I don't wear it very often. But it's good to realise what I did wrong. This corset, by the way, also is way too small in my hips and too large in my waist. It is not the right proportions for my body, and that's something I've learned from Lucy, is that you will have to get a corset that matches at least your hips and your upper torso here. And the waist can be nipped in if you want. This is, by the way, how I store my corsets in my closet, at least my underbust corsets. I just hang them inside out over a hanger. This is the second off-the-rack corset that I purchased. This I bought from Orchard Corsets in America. And it's upside down. It's another underbust corset. It's a lot shorter, which is better for my short torso. It's also a bit wider in the upper torso here, around the ribs, but still too small on the hips. But it's a lot better, and it gives me a nicer silhouette, and I've actually worn this a fair bit. This is my underbust corset from Orchard Corsets. Just do a little twist for you. As you can see, it has a little pinstripe. It's black with a little pinstripe, and I found that this dresses up or down really, really easily. I must say, a black underbust corset is very, very versatile. I've noticed that a lot of people starting off with corsets always want an overbust corset, but I found that I have a lot more wear out of underbust corsets than out of overbust corsets. So yeah, I was a lot happier with this, but still, if I can't lace it all the way closed because it pinches my hip here, and it gets a little bit tight around my ribcage as well. But that's the problem with off-the-rack corsets. You can't often get all the measurements to what your body is actually like. My hips are relatively large, so they are. It's hard to find an off-the-rack corset that will actually fit me. Oh, for reference sake, if I were to wear this all the way closed, which I am not at the moment, this is a 26-inch corset. This is the last off-the-rack corset that I own. I actually purchased this secondhand from Lucy, from Lucy's Corsetry. You may have seen me wear this in my Marie Antoinette hair tutorial and in the photos after the mask. Also, I wore to Castlefest this year, so you can see me on an Instagram picture with this on. I will also pop this on for you and you can have a look. This corset is by Versatile Corsets, and it is also a 26-inch corset. Now it has these little ties around the waist, so you can expand it a bit, which is good if you have bigger waists. But I must say, this is a lovely corset on, but it has a very conical, so very straight to the waist rib cage configurement, which is not the most comfortable thing in the world to wear for me. I prefer a corset that sort of cups around, more like an hourglass shape, rather than this, but I'll pop it on for you. And this is the Versatile corset on. It gives a really nice shape. Also, these lines sort of add to the visual illusion of your waist being a lot smaller than it actually is. This is also a 26-inch, and it gives a lovely lift as well in the chest. This is the only off-the-rack overbust corset that I own. And it is very nice for certain occasions, but it's not something you would really want to wear in everyday, I don't know, going to the mall for, because like I said, it's very conical in the rib cage. It has hardly any space here for those lower ribs, which makes them pushed in a little bit, so you don't really want to be doing much too active, because this is pretty much as far as your bending goes. It is a lovely colour though, and I do really like the detail on it, and I'm happy I managed to buy this secondhand for the price that I did. Alright, let's move on to my custom corsets. Now I have two of those. One of them you have already seen before, but I'll show it to you anyway. This corset you've already seen me wear when I went to the Elf Fantasy Fair. It is a leather corset, and it is made by AMD Corsets, I believe it's called. I'll look that up. It's a German maker, and he does wonderful leather work. Now, I'm not putting this on right now because it is a bit of a pain in the butt, because like the others, it does not have a center front bosque that you can easily open or close. So you actually have to untie these laces quite a bit in order to get in and out of it. So I'll just give you a bit of a close-up. Oh, the sun just catches it there. I don't know if you can see, but it's painted on with these sort of veins. It's green, and it has these really cool points here around the breast. It's a lovely corset, and I got it as a birthday present from my husband's 3 years ago now? Yes, 3 years ago. And it's lovely, but I have not gotten all that much wear out of it. As you can understand, it is a little bit over the top, so it's really only something you wear to events or fairs or whatever, so I have not gotten that much wear out of it. But I love it nonetheless. This last corset is the only fabric corset that I have that is custom made, and I haven't had it all that long yet. It's made by Puymont in America. As you can see, it's a lovely silk dupion, and it's probably the most expensive corset that I own, notwithstanding my wedding dress and maybe the leather one, I'm not sure, as it was a birthday gift. But this one I got made to my measurements, so it actually has the kick at the hip, and it has a wonderful nipped in hourglass silhouette. It's the most dramatic corset I own, and also the prettiest. And yeah, I'm really thrilled to have this. Now this is a 24-inch, so I cannot close it all the way yet. That's what corset training is for, setting goals. But I may have been a bit over enthusiastic, since my off-the-rack corsets, when I actually measured them closed, they were supposed to be 26-inch, but they're actually more like 28, giving me the idea that I could probably close the 26-inch quite easily. But I have a little way to go on this. I could probably close it to 28-inch, which is not that remarkable because I can close the black off-the-rack ones that I have, except that the hips are a bit tight then. But I cannot close it to 26 or 24 yet. But nonetheless, I'll put this on for you and you'll see the dramatic sort of figure that this gives me. And this is what the Puymont corset looks like when it's on. As you can see, it's the most dramatic sort of silhouette that I've gotten from any of my corsets. When I purchased this, I actually couldn't close it all this way, so I've actually been wearing this one in properly. I should have done that with my other corsets, but I didn't know that you actually had to break in corsets. Since this one was a bit more expensive, I decided to do a bit more research, and that's how I discovered that it's usually a good idea for your body, but also for your corset. At the moment I have this close to, let me just measure that for you. Don't know if you can see that, but it says 28-inch here with my finger. For reference sake, that's 70 in centimeters. As I said, I cannot close this all the way yet, but maybe someday I will. Nonetheless, I'm already really happy with the silhouette this gives me. Sorry about the lighting, my camera battery died, so I had to recharge it before I could film on. Anyway, as I was saying before it got out, maybe I should have ordered one with the ribcage a little bit wider. That, or the space is more at the back than the front. I do find it sort of is still a little bit tight around here. It's still much better than the off-rack corset, so I'm not that worried. I'm incredibly happy with this corset, and I would recommend anyone like purchasing one from Puymont Corsets. I really hope you enjoyed this little look into my corset collection. Thank you very much for watching this video, and if you want to ask me any questions about corsets or corsetry, please feel free to ask them below. Like I said, I will do my best to answer them as well as I can. Don't forget to like this video, check out my Facebook, my Pinterest and Instagram page, and we'll see you next week. Bye everyone!